Hey, Frank! February 6, 2026. Wow. What a bunch of drama, huh? Last couple days. Bitcoin falling off, doing a little bit of a rally today. Markets dropping, now rallying a little bit today. This is what I'm seeing on the charts. So, just a quick review. This is the support line here I've drawn from COVID lows, attaching from here to here to here to here, and then up here resistance line from here to up in this area here. And then if we get in here a little bit more, I've been really into these wedges lately. This is kind of like my new thing. I've been liking this type of technical analysis because it's pretty simple. You know, you don't need a bunch of crap on your screen. And that's not to say that it's foolproof or infallible, but I like the simplicity. I like things that are simple. So I also have drawn this extra line here from here connecting to here. And then you see we had this wedge that was formed here within this pattern. And now we broke down below it. We're now below the wedge. So now it's just testing resistance now. There's no support, right? You could just drop off a cliff here, right? There's no real support in this wedge. And to my estimation, it looks like you could hit here and get some resistance, so we could come up and whack this and maybe come down again. Now, if we close above this, you know, in a meaningful way, we could see more upside. That's the thing. But for now, I remain with a bearish bias. We'll see what happens. So where could it go? Where could it go? Got another chart here. This is, again, SPX on a daily chart. Now you're going to see this white line here. This white line is the 200 moving average. Very strong indicator. Now, in and of itself, it is strong. However, it's always advisable to trade with confluence. So if you can find another indicator or level around there, like a pivot point or some sort of gap or something like that, that's always advantageous. But what I'm seeing here is, take a look at this number over here. When I move my cursor, we see 6524. So 6525, excuse me, might be a good level to consider a little long position. So we could come down, whack that, and then a little bounce off that. I'm watching that for now. Do we have any in fact, do we have any so we have, okay, so this is interesting. So take a look at this here. So I'm gonna do just a little bit of a experiment here. So let's do horizontal line. I'm going to click it right here, and you see that? That looks pretty cool. So the thinking is this. Okay, the start of the move, the start of this uptrend, look, it came down, whacked this, and then it started rallying. Notice the beginning of this here is at this level, this 200 moving average, right? So if it comes down and whacks that, that to me looks like confluence. Now here's something to consider though. Moving averages are called moving averages for a reason, because they move, right? So over time, this could start drifting up or it could start drifting down. So just something to keep an eye on. But for now, for today, you know, if the market, if SPX dropped, you know, 360 some odd points, you know, went down there, just spiked down there, that'd be a good level to get in long. Okay, moving on. Let's see what we got. So this is Bitcoin, head and shoulders that I've drawn here. We are still beneath the neckline. Looks like we've had a bit of a rally today. Notice the RSI, this is a daily chart, is now 29, close to 30. Still looking technically oversold. You know, we had that really big oversold. We were like down to like 15, 16 or so on the RSI. That's really low. So I'm not surprised that we're seeing a rally today. If you bought this morning, that's great. Happy for you. You would have been up, look, low as 60,000. You would have been up 9,000 points. Great. Personally, I wouldn't get in now because I feel like I'd miss the move. However, where could it go? So I'm still thinking this 618 level here is still looking good to me. 57,000 with confluence of this yellow line, which is the 65 moving average, about 58. So yeah, if it comes back down here, this might be a decent level to start. Maybe nibble here and then maybe nibble down here at the 786 around 39,173. I wanted to also talk about this Best Buy trade that I did not get into, and I'll tell you why. So it did set up for a long, right? We have it closed above and now we're just moving up. However, I don't like to chase. I feel like I missed the move. And the other thing is I want to show you is that I looked at the spreads on calls. Okay. And this over here on this side, this is the February. I feel like, yeah, there we go. February 26th, 2026 chain. I was considering maybe this 69 call, but look at the spreads. Look at the bid ask. Bid $2.33, and the ask is $3.80. Right? That's like $1.50 of a spread. That to me was a big old nope. If it were reasonable, if the bid was like 233 and the ask was like 260, I would have done it. But I don't want to have to make up for this spread, right? Even if I'm right, I'm already fighting against the spread. So big old note from me. I want to trade like a spoiled brat. The other option I had, the other thing I was looking at is this week out call, February 13th. The spread looks better, right? It's a little bit more reasonable. So 15 cents, still not great. They're still not what I'd want, but not too bad compared to this. But look, you got 7 days to be right, or you just wasted, $1.25, right? And look at also the open interest is low, the volume's low. So even though on a chart it looks enticing, shares possibly, might be good, but I don't have the capital for that type of thing to make it worthwhile. So it looks like a decent setup technically, but there's no mechanism by which it makes sense for me that I've found. Okay, lastly, I'm just watching this GME chart here. This is the wedge I've drawn. This is a week chart, and it's just puttering along, kind of going sideways. I'm still thinking if it breaks above this line here, we could have more upside, and some spots we could tag would be, this level here. So we could, well, actually it would be above it. So it would be right here. Yeah. So 48 would be one. And then this over here at 64. And then, above that, you're looking at these over here, right? These levels here. And then finally this one would be a double top. So just keeping an eye on this one because I'm not counting this one out. Could start getting squicky again. All right. Have a good weekend.